I'm gonna hang up on you then.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, everybody. Natasha Pennycooke here. I'm looking forward to this live. Hope everyone can see me. Hey, people are starting to join. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulties getting in, but I was able to get in. This is amazing. I'm glad to see everybody. Come on in. Today's going to be amazing. We are going to be speaking with IJ. Hey. Great. I'm so happy people are here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to be speaking with IJ. So IJ is this amazing young guy who has this t-shirt brand and called Get Drip. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great afternoon, great evening. We're going to have some great conversation, and we're really going to be talking to him about, how he got involved with Keep6ix, how is he doing his brand. So there's going to be a lot of great conversation. It looks like IJ is here, so I'm going to go in and let him in. Here. Hey, everybody. And also we have Rachel, who's going to be on, who's going to fielding our questions. Hey, IJ.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm good. You?
Good. I'm doing really, really well. I'm glad that you're able to be here. I was just saying hi to everybody. I had some technical difficulties getting on, but things are good now. So yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm looking forward to having this conversation with you. I haven't seen you in a while. Last time I saw you was when you were helping me out with one of our youth mentorship programs.
Oh, yeah,
So
the
this
boy
is
program.
yeah. So this is going to be great to touch base and have a conversation.
Alrighty.
Nice. Okay. So I know that we had spoken briefly today, and yet you said that your dad was going to join and you're looking
Yeah.
forward to that. So we're going to have like junior and senior on. So, hey, everyone, a lot of people are waving. So, hey, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming in. So we are just getting started. We're here with IJ from Get Dripped, and we're going to have a talk about a couple of things about overcoming adversity, about mental health, youth mental health, gun violence. So this is going to be a really, really great conversation, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So IJ, I guess we should jump right in. I didn't really introduce you. I told our viewers that you're an amazing youth who has this amazing t-shirt brand and company, but I'm going to let you take it away. Tell us about who you are, your business, what you do, what you offer. Let everybody know.
Okay. So my name is IJ. Pardon?
So you do more than t-shirts, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's everyone. That's IJ's dad. That's on the phone. He's here to support him.
My dad's on it. Yeah. Well, my name is IJ. I'm a 14-year-old clothing brand entrepreneur, and I started my clothing brand Get Dripped, and I make like sweaters, custom clothes, and even baby clothes and animal clothes. I do a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So tell us, like, how'd you come up with this idea? You're 14 years old, right? So
Yeah.
how'd you come up with this?
Well, I was 13 when I first started my clothing brand, and it was originally started with a conversation with me and my friend. We were talking about we wanted to put like the funny sayings and stuff we said on clothing. Even though we had no idea how we were gonna do it, we just had that as an idea to make extra money. And yeah, so I talked to my parents about it, and my dad was saying that's a good idea, and he was telling me about marketing and stuff, and how to like get people to want to purchase your items if I were to take it to a bigger level, and what makes people want to purchase something over another thing, and like just like different components and parts of like marketing and selling clothing. And so yeah, we talked about it further, and then he told me I should come up with something like more modern that people were talking about, like that's like used a lot, like terms. So we came up with the drip in the sauce because that's what a lot of people are talking about nowadays. And like in songs and stuff, people are saying they have drip, they got sauce and stuff. And so basically, your drip is your clothing and like the stuff you wear, jewelry, and then your sauce is like your style, your personality. And yeah, so I talked about it with my parents, and then we came up with doing something more modern, like uh, sauce and drip. And then we came up with the name Get Dripped. So beginning Get Dripped is the meaning behind it is basically like buying clothes, because like you're getting dripped, and like basically we can make you get dripped because we got clothes, we got the drip, you know. So that's the meaning behind it.
Nice, nice. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that. I love that idea and I love that concept that, and you know, you spoke about your parents, pulling your parents in, and you definitely have that family support behind you, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so coming up with this idea, your clothing line idea, how did you really involve your parents?
Um,
Well, I can actually speak on that if you can hear me.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. So we have, like I said, everybody, we
Yeah. So
have
just to
IJ and
add,
then his
you
dad here
know,
too.
yeah, when my son, came to us with the idea about starting a t-shirt company, and I was excited because I remember when I was, pretty younger than him, I had many ideas myself, and I actually expressed that to my parents, but didn't get the support that I would have needed to, be successful in those ideas. So after a while, I got discouraged, and I didn't, because I didn't have the support to, move forward on these ideas. I got discouraged, and none of these things came to fruition. So when my son expressed that he wanted to do something like this, I was behind him all the way. And throughout my life, I learned many things from being in direct marketing on many levels. Selling items to people directly, and working with companies that would do subcontracting for natural gas and hydroelectricity and various things. So I understood a little bit about the psychology behind sales. So I explained these things to my son, and he came up with the idea, as he said. And since then, it's been great, and it's been positive, and we love the support that he's been getting, and anything else that he's interested in doing, I'll be there 100% to provide whatever knowledge and wisdom I can for him.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's so important for us as parents to be able to support our children, to be there for our children. And it definitely sounds like you had the experience of maybe not having quite that. So it sounds like you really put it out there to be able to be exactly that support for your son. And it's definitely paid off.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So IJ, tell us a little bit about, I mean, your dad's here, your dad's supporting you. He's telling us how he supported you throughout your business. Tell us a bit about you and your dad.
like our relationship, or
Yeah, your relationship. I know that like I first met you like getting involved with Keep6ix. So how did you get involved
yeah.
with Keep6ix?
Well, originally, Richard, he reached out to me for the big drive that was going on, and I did all the little cardboard bags that we put all the school supplies in for the kids. Yeah, I did the Keep6ix designs on the bags, and then I was there to support. I also got a couple of people to come and support and donate to the drive. And yeah, I've kept in touch with Richard, Keep from Keep6ix, Claude from Let's Do It Again, for all this time.
Okay, okay, nice, nice. So yeah, it sounds like you definitely giving back to the community, and I know that I have a couple of, shirts from you as well, with Keep6ix logos and brands on it. So that's amazing that you give back.
Yeah.
So um, I know that reading over your website, you talk a little bit about your dad and where your dad is. Do you want to share with our listeners?
Yeah, sure. So, my dad is currently incarcerated, and basically that plays a part with my clothing brand, because um, I wanted to make something positive out of my clothing brand instead of just having a clothing brand with no meaning behind it. So basically, I used the circumstance that my father is in, and I wanted to hopefully use it to encourage people who are being led astray or not doing the right things, and I wanted to use it to encourage them to basically make the better choices in their life and just move away from all the negativity and bad things that they currently might be getting involved in. And yeah, I wanted to use it to help them.
Okay. And that's amazing. It's amazing that you were able to turn, right, your dad's situation into something so positive for you. And the fact that your dad's been able to, right, like be here today with you, supporting you, and also being able to help you all this time with your brand and your company. That's amazing. That's absolutely, absolutely amazing. I guess maybe I'll ask your dad, how was it for you? Like, how were you able to still be able to help your son build his brand?
Well, one thing I wanted to make sure my son had was knowledge. From a very young age, I would start talking to him about, credit, how the credit systems work, mortgages, how those things work, right? So that, he has, a good foundation for the steps that he makes, as far as choosing something to do business-wise and so on. We did speak about, the psychology behind, customers buying an item, whether the item actually has a meaning, has some principles behind it, or whether a person buys it just simply because they like the way it looks and, they don't know the history behind it and so on. So as my son said, he wanted to, really make a positive impact. And that's why the first of items we started coming out with was, had positive sayings on them, like, my mind is my modern day spear.
Yeah, I love that one.
That was inspired from an album, Distant Relatives with Damian Marley and Nas. We used to listen to the album a lot in the trailers when we visit each other as a family, right? So, stand out and so on. So it was important for what we're doing as a family to have a positive impact out there, especially in relation to restorative justice. Clearly, my circumstance being incarcerated, had more of a negative impact out there in the community. And I'm sure, the waves of, what I was involved in affected many lives, in more than anything, a negative way. So this is also a way, for me to support my kid, to do positive things out there in the community and have, have a wave of positivity going out and potentially even saving lives by just putting out these ideas and, helping others out there to have an example of a young person like my son, making the choices that he's making and putting the work behind it. I mean, I understand on social media. I don't often get to see social media, but, I understand from talking to friends and associates that, he puts out all of his stuff on social media, shows his hard work,
Yeah.
And I think that's inspiring and encouraging to a lot of people his age who might be, in the state of mind that I was in when I was, a teenager and, in my early 20s and so on, right? So that's very important, to me, and I'm proud of him for, taking this course and sticking to it.
Yeah, I was looking at IJ's website this week and I saw that, right? Yeah, you're getting tons of hearts. People are loving this, loving that we're having this conversation, loving that we have father-son duo here. Thank you everyone for the hearts. I love this. I love this conversation. I was looking at IJ, your website this week, and I saw that my mind is my modern day spear. I love that one, especially being a psychotherapist and doing mental health, studying mental health and promoting mental health. I love that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I saw you also do custom made stuff. So we're going to have a talk later. We're going to definitely have a talk later. But picking up on what you said, IJ, do you think that youth these days, nowadays, have positive role models so they could build these healthy relationships? Because I see your daddy's really implementing the positivity and healthy relationships for you in your life. Do you think a lot of youth have that?
a lot of the times, no. And I think that's why a lot of kids nowadays are turning to the streets and to drugs and associating and doing things that they shouldn't be, is because they're not getting like the love and support that they need in their household. And while they're turning to gangs and stuff, is because that's where they feel they're accepted and they have that sense of brotherhood. And that's why they usually do a lot of things, because they're influenced by the people who they're around.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% I'm in agreement with that, because it is true, right? There's so many people out there who are not feeling like they have that support. So they may definitely go to other people, other areas to get that support that they may be lacking, whether at home or in community. So this is one of the reasons why myself, I love working with Keep6ix, because definitely a community of people, different arms, doing different things, trying to better ourselves by being able to better our community. And I love that you're a part of that and you stand for that. And I love even more that your dad is such a big supporter of you in that. Um, do so yeah, like we spoke about the youth and everything. Anything else that you want to say there? Like, how does this impact youth mental health? How do you what do you think, being a 14-year-old? I was 14 a long time ago, so
Yeah, well, I think it impacts them because I feel every child needs to have a father figure and a mother figure in their lives to, you know, teach them the rights and the wrongs of life, and they need to be there for that support. And also another big thing is parents need to make sacrifices for their children to better their future and to keep their children from, you know, maybe following the same paths or doing the same things that their parents may have done in their past. And yeah, it's affecting them because, you know, children need to feel that love from their parents and they need that support.
Absolutely,
yeah,
I should agree.
definitely,
I
definitely.
want
Thank
to
you for
also
that.
say,
Thank you for that. It's so important that we create space for youth to be able to have to talk about this, having that support, having that parent support. I mean, you're in a circumstance that may be different for what people think of support. However, even though your dad is not physically with you, he's very emotionally involved, he's very supportive, and we could definitely see the benefits that has, right? And one of the things that I love that you do, that you're a big supporter, you're a big advocate of anti-gun violence. Why are you so passionate about this?
I'm passionate about it is because in today's society, we are losing way too many people and young kids to gun violence. Some of you may know Jeremiah, who recently passed to gun violence. He was just 15, and that's, for me, is way too young to of an age to pass that. He really didn't even get to live his life, and that's a big problem. And there's no need for someone to feel like they need to pick up a gun and use it, because us humans being born, we're not born with that idea in their heads. It's they learn it from somewhere. And that's another reason why parents need to be in their kids' lives, is to guide them in the direct path away from those things. And that's why I'm against gun violence.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're right. We're seeing it way too much. And then with Jeremiah, who recently passed, it's a circumstance that should not have happened, right? It's something that shouldn't have happened. Um, and it's having an impact, right? As someone who is very close to that same age, I can only imagine the impact that it has had on you, right? Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because if you think about it, he was only 15, and uh, regards goes to his family. And it's not only me that was impacted, it's his family as well. And even the people that it could have even impacted the family of the person who even did it, because now they have to live potentially the rest of their lives incarcerated, and the people that cared for them. and the people around them are also going to be affected. It's because, and that's why we need to think before we do. We need to think before we act. And prevention. My dad always used to tell me this: prevention is better than treatment. It's better to prevent problems from happening than just treating it and having to deal with the outcome. So, yeah, a lot of people are affected by it.
Yeah, you're right. Like a lot of people are affected by it, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't think as far as you're thinking, right? What the outcome could be, the consequences of their actions. That's what I always tell my son, the consequences of their actions, that a lot of people don't really feel they may not have other ways to manage that anger, the frustration, right? So the fact that you're here and you're a youth, you're talking about this, it sounds like you have a very, very good understanding of different ways to manage, right? A lot of people get really angry and they're turning to gun violence as a way to solve their problems, right? Whether it's a scuffle, a beef, or whatever has happened. There's different ways to solve our problems, right? And we need to think about what the consequences are. As you said that beautifully. Not only the consequences for Jeremiah and his family who've lost him, but also the consequences to the person who pulled the trigger, right? We have to start understanding that it's having a ripple effect, not only on the individuals who were involved, but right around as a community. This is having a ripple effect, and we definitely have to find better, more productive ways, because what's happening, our children are dying, right? Our children are losing their lives. So we need to get, right? We need more youth like you who are amazing, positive role models who's doing such amazing things out of a really hard and difficult circumstance. If you can do this, there's so many people out there. We need to have these amazing role models around. And this is why Keep6ix is such a great organization and community, because we really work within our communities to be able to really impact and make a better life for the next generation.
And that's also, I was just also going to add on, that's why a lot of people need to express themselves and express how they're feeling and explain, like reach out to someone and explain the problems that they're going through. They need to seek help, because it's way better than picking up a gun, and you can get help that way and potentially turn your life around if you seek help and express yourself.
Exactly. Myself, I'm a psychotherapist by trade. That's my profession. And that's what I do. I do a lot of anger management, right, working with people in anger management, and like the youth mentorship program that I was running, and you were one of the people who came in on the last day, trying to just also teach youth about emotions, right? A lot of us, we don't have that emotional intelligence, emotional language. We weren't taught about different emotions. I know I wasn't when I was 14. Right. So the fact that you're here, you're 14, you have it, you know it's there, and you're sharing it with everybody, it's absolutely amazing. And I applaud you for that. Thank you so much. So I know that you've been speaking out about gun violence, right, on your Instagram page. And I know that you've been, like I kind of see your t-shirt, I'm kind of looking up. Do you want to show everyone your shirt?
So this is my, this is my, my gun-free zone sweater. So for this, it's just, it's my movement about anti-gun violence. And also one thing is, I'm going to be donating $15 from the sales of my gun-free zone sweaters and t-shirts to Jeremiah's GoFundMe. And you guys can also go support his GoFundMe. I donated $320 already to his GoFundMe from the sales of these. So if you guys want to support, you can go.
Amazing. So for those who didn't hear that, IJ has made these t-shirts where it says gun free. What does it say? Gun free zone.
Gun free zone, yeah.
Gun free zone. He's got t-shirts, he's got hoodies. Go over to his website, purchase this. He's a young man in the community. He's donating the parts of the funds for these t-shirts to Jeremiah's family to help them with their expenses, with their funeral expenses. So definitely everyone here, go and support. Definitely go and support. So IJ, tell everybody where they're going to go. Where's your website so people can go?
So
right
All
now.
of my
Tell everybody.
social medias, all of my social medias are Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's Get Dripped, GETDRIPPD. There's no E in dripped. It's GETDRIPPD. And I also have my website, www.getdripped. I have all of my designs on there. And also, if you want custom orders, anybody that wants custom orders, I can do pretty much anything you want.
I'm calling you for a custom order. Rachel, can you make sure that you put IJ's website up on the comments, please? So I know some people had some questions. We have an amazing youth here, IJ, who's with us. We have about, I want to say maybe 20 minutes or so left. So I saw a few questions, IJ, and also Senior. If you guys are comfortable, I'm just going to quickly scroll through and try to see some of those questions and some of the comments. So someone is asking specifically, founder Get Drip. So I have a question. How long does drip take? So I'm guessing how long does it take to get a custom order, maybe, if that's a question?
It's like if you order in and tell me and you let me know, it's like 3 to 5 business days. I'll put it together. You just let me know, and then you pay, and then I'll go ship it out to you. Or even if you're close, and I can just deliver it or pick up anything.
Oh, amazing. So if you heard that, IJ does custom, and he will even deliver it to you or drop it on your doorstep, considering that we're in COVID time.
Oh yeah, with COVID, yeah.
I also think that IJ, it depends on the how intricate the designs are that people are asking for customized, right? You might even finish it in a day.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
If the designs are more detailed and they have like little pieces in it, then that will take a while. But the shipping is 3 to 5 business days. It just depends on the design. And yeah.
Yeah, and do you?
Everything, right?
Pardon?
Yeah, that's true.
And all kinds of other things. Right?
Yeah, I do a bunch of
Tracksuits, hoodies. I saw some cute sweater or t-shirt dresses. I saw some cute t-shirt dresses, and I was like, ooh, I might get one of those too. Someone is saying that they believe that your brand is more than what you're saying. They believe that your brand is showing a young man beating all the odds of becoming a statistic. Thank you. That is so true. That is exactly what I was thinking. And you found the word to say.
Yeah. I also have a t-shirt design that I'm coming out with that it says I'm not a statistic. So yeah, that's going to be coming out.
Oh, beautiful. That's amazing. You might want to connect with Beautiful Princess. She was saying that. So you're on the same page. So again, definitely goes back and says, this is proof that you can put your dreams into action, especially with the support of your parents, no matter where they are. 100%. And that's what IJ shows that right there, right? Doesn't matter where your parents are. Parents can still be that amazing support for their children. I'm just scrolling here. Rachel, if you see any other questions. Wise beyond your years. Someone says you're wise beyond your years. Definitely. I think when I met you, IJ, and you came over to the youth mentorship program, I was telling all the youth that, oh, he's like 16, maybe 17, and you walk in and you're younger than all the youth there. And I was like, all right. But definitely your mindset. You have a mindset of at least someone in their 20s, right? And there's some people, like I do private practice therapy, and I know there are some people that I work with that are way in their 30s and 40s. They don't have this mindset. So this is a gift that you have, and I love the fact that you're using it so positively to give back to the community.
Yeah, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Someone says your dad is so proud of you and such a big supporter. Definitely I get that too. We answered that question. Does anyone have any more questions? I'm scrolling through as quickly as I can. Positive work. You're doing so much for your community. He definitely is. All right, so you can definitely follow IJ. I didn't pin you, but IJ is at Get Drip. There's no So get GETDRIPPD, and also his website, the same thing, .com. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, someone is asking, can you get drip without having the sauce? Someone's asking.
You tell them, IJ. Tell them what that is. Tell them the slogan.
You can't get dripped if you don't got the sauce. That's one of my oldest slogans that I had. Yeah, you can't get dripped if you don't got the sauce.
All right, and you know what? I think I think this question is actually from Richard, the founder of Keep6ix. So he knows if you want to get dripped, you got to get the sauce. If you want to get the sauce, call IJ.
Yeah, but basically, everyone has their natural sauce. It's just how you use it. If you use it for positivity, that's one of the things my clothing brand is about. And one of the analogies I like to use is sauce. Okay, you put sauce in your food and it makes it better, right? So there's a bunch of different sauces out there. So sauces like positivity. If you put sauce out into the world, you'll get positivity back. You'll get sauce back. So keep putting sauce out there and positivity out there, and you'll get positivity back, and you'll just make around you a better space in general.
I love that, right? Make your world, make your space positive. If you give that out, you will get it back. And then have that cycle continuing. I love that. I love that. Someone is saying, tell your dad, tell senior, we are listening to him in New Zealand, South Pacific. So you have people watching right around the world. This is amazing.
Wow. That's amazing. IJ, you hear that? Hear that, IJ?
Yeah.
New Zealand. That is the other side of the world, IJ. That's how much of an impact you're having, son.
And this is it. Think about it. Your words, right? Your words, your action to support your advocacy for anti-gun violence is not only making an impact here in the Toronto, the GTA area, you are making an impact all over the world globally. People are here, people are listening, people are seeing you, IJ. People are so mind blown and fascinated with what you've done. You definitely need to be proud of yourself. You have beat the odds. You have not become that statistic, right? And your dad is there, is here. He's listening in. He's supporting you. He's got your back. Someone is saying, expand your sales by trying to recruit the same youth who have their fathers incarcerated. They would be able to relate to your mission. And best of all, unfortunately, there are several youth.
Yeah,
I just tell them about Let It Drip.
Yeah.
Tell them about Let It Drip.
Oh, Let It Drip is a platform I started. It's basically anybody who are going through problems or just want to talk, they can reach out to the Let It Drip platform and express how they're feeling, and I can try my best to help and provide resources for help, like even like Keep6ix, Let's Do It Again, Young Street Mission. I can provide those resources for them if they need it.
That's amazing. Tell it again. What is it?
Let it drip. Let it drip.
Let it drip.
Yeah, just like express yourself.
Yeah, let it out, talk it out. I love that. And as a therapist, I think that's it. That is something that we need, right? We need to have more support for each other. We need to have more space for each other. We need to create space. We need to give ourselves permission to talk about the hard things. A lot of times what happens is that people keep these things inside. They start bubbling up. They start boiling up. People get upset. They may not know how to deal with it. They may go get a gun and try to deal with it that way. So the fact that IG now is creating a platform for youth to turn to where they can support each other, where there's no judgment, come in, talk about what's going on, right? Express that you're upset or you're hurt or you're angry or you feel shamed or whatever it is, and get support from other people, other positive people. This is amazing, amazing.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Whoops. Someone is saying what type of sauce. Their favorite is tomato. Someone's saying God has ordained your life. Beautiful.
We are a family of faith, so we believe that this is a great blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's a great lesson. And someone's like, yeah, create space, create safe, brave space, right? Create safe, brave space where people can come in. And the fact that you are a young man, entrepreneur, doing your thing, have your parents' support, right? No matter where your parents are, you have their support. You're making a really, really big difference in the community. Yeah.
Trying my best.
You are trying your best. You know what? And I'm not saying that this is easy, right? Even though people are seeing the benefits of your hard work. People haven't seen the day in, the day out, how hard it is. And I know the realities behind it, that even though they go and we're hearing your smiling face and everything like that, you've had hard times as well. What we're saying is that I recognize that you've had those hard times. And also I know that you still overcome those odds.
Yeah. And that's why I created the movements like anti-gun violence, the Let It Drip, and I'm gonna try to help as many people as I can who are in the same situation as me and who have incarcerated parents or family members and who are going through the same thing. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Someone is asking, Senior, how long do you have in?
Well, this year will be my 15th year incarcerated.
Okay. Okay. So this year, if anyone is doing the math, right? So Senior said this year will be his 15th year incarcerated. And IJ, remind us how old you are?
I'm 14.
You're
I'll
14.
be 15 in August. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was arrested 28 days after IJ was born.
All right. Okay. So IJ, for basically your whole life that you can remember, your father has been incarcerated.
Yeah, and then even when I was young, I would go to see him, behind the glass, and we'd talk on the phone. And then when he went to the penitentiaries, we would go for visits. There's these things called PFVs, which is private family visits. And we basically go stay in a bungalow house, and we'd order groceries, and we got to stay there for 3 days. Me, my mom, my brother, and my dad, we would just stay, watch movies, do Bible study, and just play, see each other. And then we've been doing that for years.
Okay. Okay. So still building the father time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still building the family time, which
Yeah,
is really
building
important.
and maintaining the relationship that we have.
Exactly, building the relationship for sure. Someone is also asking, I'm just gonna go back. Uh, what are his challenges? So someone is asking you, IJ, what are your challenges with your father being in jail?
Um,
Incarcerated?
well, so like growing up, there are some times where I would wish he was there so he could, like, just like any child would, they want to play with their father or mother, just to be there. And I remember there's this one time, um my I was going over to my friend's house, which she lived on my street, and I rode my bike down there, and I was by her dad's car, and her dad came out yelling at me because he thought that I was gonna scratch his car with like the handlebar of my bike.
Yeah.
And then my dad found out, and then he was mad that he wasn't, there to be able to communicate with their father. And then so then he came up with an idea of how, like, everybody on the street could be acquainted, because that's why that problem happened, is because they didn't really know me like that. I just knew their daughter because we were friends and we used to play back then. So, and then my dad came up with street socials. So every year around like July, June, we would have a social where everybody on the street brought food, and they would just all acquaint up at the top of the street and then just eat, chill, talk. And yeah, so then after that, their father got to know me more, and then yeah, everybody on the street. It's helped a lot of people on the street, because now everybody is like good friends. And then whenever I go back to visit my street, everybody from the street just says what's up to us. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's, you know
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Can
Go
I say
ahead,
something
Senior.
to that?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I remember the incident. The incident. Well, I was in my emotions because here's this guy I don't know that's
Mhm.
yelling at my son. And I
Mhm.
thought it was quite rude, that thing that he said to my son. And
Mhm.
like any dad, you'd want to be there to protect your kid. But I realized, well, how can I have an impact within the community there, although I'm not there.
Mhm.
And I remember being young and seeing parents get into conflict because their kids are playing together every single day. They don't communicate with each other, but then as children do, they have their own conflicts amongst themselves, whether someone gets hurt by accident, and sometimes parents don't communicate, so then they fly off the handle, right? So this idea was to bring the community together, have everyone know each other, because I think how can kids be playing together, growing up with each other, and parents don't really even know each other personally. These are the things that need to be in our community, so that we can help to show our children when there is conflict, hey, this is how you deal with conflict, this is how you communicate. It's up to parents to take the lead, and make those sacrifices, and sacrifice time for their children.
Yeah, 100%. And also, like, I'm here smiling. I love that idea because it's not only, right, it's not only the kids playing together, right, like in the street playing ball, riding their bikes and things like that, but it's also building community on exactly what community means. Like, here are people living together on the same street in this close proximity. We need to get back to having that community, like neighbor mentality. It's not only that you're neighbors, but can we be neighborly as well? So the fact that you were able
Well,
to,
it takes a village to raise children, right? I grew up
yes,
hearing those sayings, right?
exactly, exactly. And that's why those sayings are those sayings, because it really, really does. So the fact that even from inside, you were able to spearhead that idea in the community where you can make sure now that your children can be safe, that they can go over to their friend's house, right, without another parent getting upset with them. Now it's like, oh, hey, IJ, yeah, come on in. They're inside. They're waiting for you, right? So you could have that instead of the, who are you? Why are you here?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Just looking at the time, we do have a few more questions. Someone is asking you, Senior, when are you getting out?
Well, I have an opportunity to go before the parole board in 2024, and it all depends on that hearing. If that hearing goes well and the parole board grants me the opportunity to get out at that time, then I'll be out. I do have some other opportunities that I'm exploring right now with lawyers and a legal team to see if I can expedite that process.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess we wait to see, right? Wait to see if the process is expedited and then what comes from that. Yeah. Okay. Someone is asking, do you think visits in jail is a good thing for children? I guess
Yeah.
both of you can answer this question.
Yeah. Well, for me, 1000%, because every child needs to stay in contact with their parents, and build their relationship and maintain the relationship. So that's why it's good that's implemented. So their children and their family member, and even the other parent, my mom, like, we can go see him, and yeah, I think that it's great.
And for me, it is very important for me. Someone on the inside, that's also support for that person on the inside. But it allows, that person on the inside to develop that relationship and actually know their children, because as your child is going through school and, making friendships and so on and so forth, they're developing as an individual, as a person. So not being there present, it takes away from you being able to know exactly who your kid is. So when you have that opportunity to spend that time in private family visits, and they give us about 3 days, right? These things have been put in place to help that support, to help the individual have that support, have the family have that support, and also for an individual to be focused on what should be important to them, which is their family. Because a lot of times when we're younger, we're distracted with many things, and where it takes away from what should be our priorities. So, and that also depends on the person while incarcerated, what they realize should be important to them, and my children's future, is very important to me, because of what we understand is going on out there in amongst the youth as far as violence and how acceptable it seems in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And I worry about my kids, so this is why I'm putting as much work as I can into helping them make the better choices and not wind up in situations or thinking the way I thought at one point in time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have a follow-up question for you, Senior. This is my own question. How has having those times, those extended like 3-day visits with your family and with your children, how has that been positive for your mental health?
Well,
or the impact that it has had on your mental health, positive or not?
It definitely has been the biggest, most positive thing when it comes to my mental health, because when I came into the system, I was very angry.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very angry individual, and if I didn't have my children, my family, to focus on, I could have potentially been lost in the system, because on the inside, you have a lot of challenges. There's a lot of there's a lot of various ideas and belief systems that we adopt as we grow up in various circumstances, and throughout your time, you develop and you determine what is your primary goals, what's actually important to you, and you decide on the changes that you're going to make. The prison itself, just provides a place when you're dealing with the consequences of your actions, for you to contemplate these things. And it's up to the individual whether they want to make changes in their life or not. The system itself does not change the individual, but it provides a structure for an individual to have some time to really think and reflect. So it all boils down to the person and how they use their time.
Yeah, great answer. I like that. I like that. And the fact is, it comes down to the person, and then you have been that person that, right? You used the worst case to do the best thing that you can with the situation that you're in.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's an opportunity in everything. It all depends on,
Right. I love that mindset. I love that mindset. We don't have a lot of time left. There is one more question. Someone is asking, how has COVID affected your ability to stay connected to each other?
Okay, well, when COVID came, we had a couple visits planned. Like, we had one visit planned, and it was a PFV. And then with the whole thing, we got a message from the institution saying that it was canceled because of the COVID thing and all the precautions and the things that could happen from people coming outside and going into the institution. And then we planned another one, and then that also got canceled. And that's how it's affected us.
Yeah. So I'm definitely hearing you. Go ahead, Senior. Go ahead.
It's been an adjustment, because we have been used to be having our visits quite consistently.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen each other since December. We had a long weekend, because on some holidays you actually get an extra day or two depending on the actual holiday. So we haven't had one since December. In this situation, we generally don't really know when our next visit will be, but they have, in the institutions, they've made some adjustments. They have a video visit program, so
good.
sometimes we're able to make use of the video visit program and see each other via video. That's been helpful, and we're always on the phone as often as we can be, pretty much every day, so that helps.
Okay, good, good. Definitely. I've been telling clients of mine that we have to start finding new ways to do the old stuff. So the fact that you get some video visits, the fact that you're on the phone every day, yeah, you're finding new ways to do the old stuff, right? Still being connected with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't want us to get cut off by Instagram because I know Instagram does that. IJ, tell us where people could find you. Tell us who you are. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Once again, I'm IJ. I want to thank Natasha from Keep6ix for inviting me to this interview, and also Richard Miller from Keep6ix. And yeah, so my name is IJ once again. I have a clothing brand at GetDripped, GetDripped on all social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then my website, www.getdripped.com. I can do custom orders, and then I have all my designs up on my website. I can do pretty much anything you need.
amazing, amazing. And IJ, someone is saying to reach out to us and we will offer some mentoring to help you build your brand. So that's silent the violence and shun. So HSHUN. So if you see that's a silence the violence and shun. Yeah, they're offering to mentor you to build your brand. So hey, you know what?
Oh,
Reach out to them, silence the violence. You know, reach out to IJ, connect with him. You have his Instagram handle; it's there, right? So
and I'd
IJ,
like
you
to
can.
also say to
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
I'd like to say to, other young people that might be listening right now, you see, with the kind of positivity that, you put out there, these are the things that'll happen. There are people out there that will help you. There are people out there that will reach out to you.
Yep.
You just need to let people know what you're going through. Let people know what your ideas are. And there are people out there who want to make a difference, who will provide resources to you. You just heard it just now. IJ is on this interview, and
Yep.
there's a group of people that want to reach out to him and help him. My phone's cutting out right now. I'm sorry, I gotta go.
That's okay. Thank you for being here, Senior. I really appreciate you taking this time with us.
All right, and yeah, silence the violence and shun the guns. You can DM me. I'll message you after this. Yeah.
They're amazing, amazing. So IJ, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
really appreciate you once again. Last time I called you last minute to come in to help out with the youth mentorship program, you were there. You came in both days, right?
Yeah.
And here again, getting you on. I very much appreciate you and your time and your family for being the supportive family they have been to bring you up into this world. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank you
too
so
for inviting me
much.
here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Always, always, always. So we'll talk soon, IJ, okay?
Alrighty. Peace out,
All
guys.
right. Bye. Thank you. So that was IJ. He was also joined by his father via phone. I hope you guys enjoyed that. IJ is such an incredible youth. Remember, he is 14 years old and he has this wonderful clothing brand. Yes, this young man is going to go far. You know, we need to be able to support. We have to support our young people because the world that we are in may not be the support that we want our young people to have. So we as a community, we have to be there. We have to empower. We have to stand behind. We have to be there. We have to be that community. We have to be that neighbor, right? It takes a village. We can be that village. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Keep6ix. My name is Natacha Pennycooke. I am a registered psychotherapist. You can follow me at my handle at natashapennycooke.therapy. Next week, same time, same place, 7 o'clock Wednesday, we are going to be on with actually, I'm going to be on again. I'll be here. I'll be on, with Abigail. Abigail is a trauma-informed yoga instructor. I'm actually super excited for this conversation because she's a therapist and I'm a therapist. It's going to be a really interesting conversation. She was in the midst of preparing to do programming inside the institutions when COVID hit. So this is going to be a great conversation. definitely set your clock, set your alarm next Wednesday, 7 p.m. right here on Keep6ix. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for being a great audience. Thank you for your questions. Yes, it was a great discussion. Thank you so much. Have a good night. I am wishing you love, peace, and blessings, and take care of yourself and take care of each other. Bye. Good night.